It's Tuesday, so we're gonna, of course, kick it off with Bitcoin and the update on the market, what's happening, and what we can expect in the near future. As always, a quick reminder about my favorite broker, Eightcap. Guys, they're amazing. You can easily trade from your trading view screen just by a click of a button. If you have any issues with it whatsoever, you can watch my previous videos on how to set it up and how easily you can either place your longs or shorts just by entering the little quick trying to quickly talk to you guys, entering the little quick connection between the Eightcap and TradingView. Anyway, moving on. Of course, guys, if you need any more help with it, like I said, just let me know. Moving on, we're going to check Bitcoin first, and we're going to have a look at alts. What is happening, what has maybe made a move, or what is about to make a move. You know, I have been looking at INJ. Let's not make a mistake and call it ENJ. So that's one I will be definitely checking. And then let's see what the guys in the Discord want to have a look at. And all this will be, of course, updated on YouTube today. So let's go. Okay, guys, so here we go. This is our daily outlook on Bitcoin. As you can see, if you're watching me regularly, if you've seen last week, not much has changed. If you are a trader, this range for Bitcoin is quite frustrating. It is just a crab and not much volatility and not a lot to actually give you any interesting moves or any interesting gains. On the daily chart, as you can see, it's just been choppy chop. Once we zoom in, the ranges are not going to look much better, but you can, of course, like my friend Bleeding Crypto, keep going lower and lower and lower, all the way down to the 1 minute chart, and see if you can actually get trading on. Sorry guys, something just popped up on my screen. Have to get rid of it. If you are seasoned enough to trade on 1 minute charts. So I only just started talking about Bitcoin here, zoomed in now on a smaller time frame just to see how how the price action is actually shaping up here. And for the minute, we are just basically stuck in between 20,000 and not even 18,000. So it's about 19,000, 1950 where we've been chopping. Turning some indicators on here for the 4 hour, we are going to check here real quick what we're looking at. So you know, my one of the most favorable indicators I use are Traders Reality. You see liquidity zones, you see the EMAs, and you also have pivot points. Right now we're very close and really tight. The EMAs are very much together. We're trading above the 50 on the 4 hour, which is interesting. And if I was to say that Bitcoin is going to make a move to the upside, these vector candles are screaming to us right now. Let me mark them for you. If Bitcoin moves, and it's a big if, but at the same time, I don't think there's many news we're expecting at the minute. And I think right now we can definitely call this market news dependent. It really much just relies on those weekly meetings or monthly meetings, all the CPI updates. And you can definitely, if you haven't noticed this yet, and I talked about it last week, and I definitely made a note about it on Twitter as well. Everyone becomes all of a sudden a CPI expert. Nobody really understands what it means. But if you see it higher than the last time's announcement or lower than the last time announcement, you can expect a move. So if we see CPI higher, which basically talks about the unemployment rate currently in the United States, I think it's in the ranges of 8.1, correct me if I'm wrong. If you get another announcement and it's going to be lower than the previous one, we might see some move. But at the minute, like I said, we're not expecting any important updates on that front, not for a while. We're heading to the end of the month. We are actually on the 18th of October. It's crazy how fast time is actually going. It's a madness. But I'm going to leave the CLO box here for now. If you guys are thinking of entering Bitcoin here for maybe a swing trade, a day trade, it will be quite easy in validation. You can just throw this here. I'd maybe wait for Bitcoin to just come down to the pivot point, because it is like the middle between all the pivot points, around 19,400, and see if it bounces from here. It could even wick down to pivot point 2. We could be seeing a bit of a chop, but before the end of the week, if Bitcoin moves, it would be interesting to see if it actually comes up all the way to the 22,000 mark. So I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to give you an entry point around the pivot point. Give ourselves just this target and give ourselves about, so the ratio here is 6. If you are willing to give a little bit more, 4.3, that's, you're losing here. Your stop loss is at 3%. The gain here is at 14%. If you were entering around the 19,500 mark, and the risk to reward ratio is just above 4. That's not too bad, given the market is just basically a snooze fest. So that's just a real quick update on Bitcoin and maybe what can happen in the short term. You can also see on the 4-hour the 800 EMA here, and it's kind of coming down. I think, you know, if it did happen that Bitcoin went up, made that move to the upside, keep an eye. You know, it might meet this resistance line here at this point. It could be just another point where you would be looking to load off. But I'm just looking here to the left. There's another possibility where Bitcoin could come up all the way even to 23,400. Just that little red vector here. So again, I think I would be keeping an eye on this EMA on the 4-hour as a resistance point. Think for Bitcoin, if you guys have any more questions, I mean, we could zoom out, we could talk about everything that's being observed. I think there was recently, I've seen this happen a few times. Obviously, you know, this is the first time in history where you're seeing Bitcoin this is a weekly chart where it's actually trading below the 200 EMA and 50 EMA, and now they might cross. Hopefully that's not going to happen. Bitcoin, has traded, fair enough, has traded here before in the previous bear market in 2018. But we would need to see turn, like, as you can maybe even just note the fact that 50 EMA is really pointing down, and they're very close together. nearing each other at this point, the 800 and 200 and the 50, whereas in here we weren't really so near to that cross. It's just something to keep in the back of your mind, something to just think about. The reality of the situation is, guys, that we really don't know what's going to happen. Nobody can tell you that yes, Bitcoin has bottomed. I'm certain of it. It's just too much uncertainty around the world. Just everything that's happening globally, economically, it is not favoring right now Bitcoin or the market go into a bull market. However, if you are thinking about investing and buying, I believe personally it is a good time to start really looking into good projects. Look for low caps or look for projects that have bottomed out. They've dropped over 80% or even more at this point, because some ads have, but they haven't stopped building, and they are really concentrating on delivering updates, delivering on different new technologies, and they are active right now. That means these guys are pulling all the stops regardless of the condition of the market, and they are really thinking about their project in serious ways. If you see that in a project, if you've done your homework, I believe it is time to start slowly buying into those projects. I'm a believer in new technology as well. I believe that crypto is really going to get massively adopted. Whether it's going to be as rapid in terms of price action, I can't tell you right now, guys. But I do think there are a lot of opportunities out there for everybody to really make money off. Personally, Bitcoin is a snooze fest. I'm not trading it. I'm looking at alts. You know me, I love trading. It's just something that I really am so passionate about. Don't get a lot of time to be doing this these days. But I also I also think investing in good solid projects is something that will benefit and will bring me amazing returns. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here on Bitcoin. There's few altcoins that I want to have a look at. One of them is definitely going to be INJ. I also want to update on QNT. I did exit that myself. I'm not trading it, but there's a big interest in it because obviously when you see the chart, you're going to understand why. So let's move on from Bitcoin to my alts.